Now then, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson. Let's talk about Bruno Fernandes as he lost it, as he decided that he wants to get on his toes. Well, there was a report, I'm going to get into it in a second. There was a report suggesting that Bruno Fernandes is fed up. Is it legit? Is it actually happening? Or is it just Twitter being Twitter? I think it's a fair question. So the report was, I saw it on United Exclusive, and let me just pull it up. It's here in the background. And it was citing a journalist from the iPaper, no, me either, called Pete Hall, saying Bruno Fernandes has had enough of what's going on at Manchester United and he's looking to leave the club. Most people in response to it were saying, yeah, you and me both, brother. And yeah, all right, I get that. I understand that, but is it actually real, and do we think it's actually likely to happen? I mean, what are you guys saying in the comments? Do you think that that's something that could happen, might be happening, should happen? What are you saying? What's everybody saying in the old comments there? Let's sort of see. Just going to pull the chat up for everyone. Header says, I'm going to cry if he leaves. Absolutely loved him since he joined under Ollie. I think that's absolutely fair. I mean, there's not been a better signing, has there? There's not been a better signing that we've had. Plain and simple. There's just not been a better signing since Sir Alex Ferguson. Flash says, women showing the cup. I wonder if they'll play any ringers this time around. Well, hope it's not the Vets, otherwise we're in for a hard night, aren't we? And Women Short Vets are doing an absolute madness at the minute, winning 18-0 every week. Now, this doesn't make the iPaper, obviously, as the primary source. It's been aggregated by the likes of United Exclusive. Is there anyone else reporting it, confirming it? Is it being echoed by reliable reporters, or is it just kind of floating around the Twitter sphere on its own? I can't see anyone else reporting it at the moment. I think a lot of people in response to it are saying it as something that they want to be true. The people that are, everything's burning, everything's wrong with this club, of course he wants to leave. They've just seen it and gone, I want this to be true. There's the people that fear it might be true because it might underline the things that we think are happening at the club. And then, you know, it's one of them. I'm not sure this is an accurate report. I'm not sure that he's come out and said anything along those lines. He's certainly not going to be doing it in January, so I don't think that's going to be on the cards for anybody. Meat says there's a rumour that Bayern might be interested in him. Hanig says the Amorim bootlickers are still crying. There's a lot of that going on. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I saw a lot when Jose went. So many people was really angry at Jose when he went, but never had the same anger for anybody of the other managers. Jose when he went, the same as Ollie when he went, the same as Ten Hag when he went, the same as Amorim when he went. You can't look at the results as a list of results and think that that was unfair. When they went, they absolutely bought a ticket for that. You know, the results really did it, didn't they? Street Soul Lover says he's our best player and it's not even close. We lose him, we are sunk. DA Outdoors says we've all had enough state and it's not just Bruno. That might be the case, yep. 24 for Jan, I'm in Manchester. A paddock playing, says Liam Butler. We are. I think we've been warned off that might be a cup game. I'm just going to double check for you. But I think the game that's listed, we've kind of been warned off that might change. So the fixture for that day is currently Congleton away in Congleton, which is a bit of a mooch. We've been told it might be a cup match, so that prepare for that to change. They should let us know within a week, though, I would imagine, on that one. Danny says Amorim had an upward trajectory so different to previous managers. I'm not right. I'm not buying that as an upward trajectory, though, when you look at those last results. Notch says, could be opportunistic story because of Ruben going or Portuguese connection. Could be, you're right. Yeah, you got to think about where the source of all of these is. I mean, I don't know, Rich, what was it called? Peter Hall? Yeah, Pete Hall. I don't know him. I don't know if he's good or bad or whatever. Vovaj says, I think this will be better for Bruno and for United. Flyboy says, fam, we're not going to play Bruno forever. That's what's wrong with this fan base. Just start phasing him out now because he's a net negative. Look, mate, Bruno is not a net negative, is he? Let's have it right. I mean, how can you actually think that Bruno Fernandes has been a net negative for Manchester United? That's absolutely bananas. ET says, listen, I don't blame Bruno. AJ says, Bruno is this era's Brian Robson. Yeah, I would say completely different personality, but I understand where you're coming from with that. ITS Hoyland says, I think Bruno has given his all for this club and has been lied to and has every right to go. That being said, not sure going forward, Bruno is the one to get us back to the top. I think that's probably quite fair. Yeah, if you was able to do a complete retooling of the squad, maybe you would look at something along those lines. But yeah, I agree. MU Intrigued says, I'd be okay with it if we get Morgan Rogers. Not sure about that one. Prendo says, still imagine a front line of Bruno, Kane, Diaz and Elise. Yikes. Without Bruno, who are we watching this team for? Mbuemo, Cunha. There's still some good players here, but it's one of those. Andrew says, Amorim got himself the sack with his stubbornness. Bruno was given his heart and soul and got very little in return. Amorim got himself the sack with stubbornness. Bruno was given his heart and soul and got very little in return. Yeah. Do you know what? I saw that thing the other day, which is Ten Hag's delivered United's only trophies in 5 years, and I was like, that can't be true. Is that true? And it's true. What? How's that true? If Bruno does go, who do you want to replace him? I think you probably bring in a left winger and put Cunha in the 10. Hanling says, do I see that City might be going for Elliot Anderson? We might need to get on him. Okay. How are City still spending money, by the way? How are City still spending money? United Road says, like Bruno, we're absolutely deflated. Glazers out. What did I get Penfold for his birthday? I let him keep my phone number in his phone. Lyle says, his Portuguese interview does lead towards being true. Sufyan with a super chat, thank you, says, hi Stephen, how have I not had enough? Why don't I participate in a 58 protest at this point after fan base is clinically depressed? I won't be there because we've got a game, for starters. But outside of that, I mean, I'd support them. Like I said in my video that I did on yesterday. What day are you on? It's Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, yesterday. I absolutely support them. My problem, it's not really a problem with protests, and me saying that will get it twisted the wrong way. I absolutely support people's right to protest. People should protest in things that they feel are wrong. My worry with protests is we've protested for years and very little seems to change. That would be a better way of saying it, I think, wouldn't it? Vova says, thanks for the content. Thank you. Well, thank you guys for watching it, because otherwise it is the ramblings of a fucking lunatic that no one watches, isn't it? So it's a two-way street here. I thank you guys for turning up. You get the free content. It's a win-win. What's my one dream and one realistic manager for summer? Greetings from Ukraine. One dream manager. Oh, was that one dream signing and one dream manager? Was that? One dream, one realistic manager. I like Nagelsmann. I don't know if he comes under the dream or realistic. I like Ancelotti. I don't know if he comes under the dream or realistic. I don't know. What category is there left for us to try? Do you know what I mean? You've tried the guaranteed success in Jose Mourinho, right? That's what Jose Mourinho was on the tin. He's your guaranteed. He's absolutely gonna deliver that's what he does. He delivers titles. You tried the continental club builder in Louis van Gaal. That didn't work. You tried the pragmatic Premier League experienced Scotsman. Yeah, that didn't work. We tried the club legend. That didn't work. We even had interims where we got like one of the most astute football directorial minds in world football in Ralph Rangnick, and that didn't fucking work. Then you got the young, hot, fresh, this is the next big super coach in Ruben Amorim, and that didn't work. Where do you go? Big Sam. Yeah, Big Sam, you're right. Meat says, Nagelsmann has shown interest in the United job, by the way. But we need to have a word about his wardrobe before he turns up the way he turned up with Leipzig. Can't be having that. Dabby says, Ancelotti dream, Glasner probably realistic. Neil Thorne says, Bruno's only real achievement is getting a house made out of gold brick. What? Red Terry says, Diego Simeone for me, but definitely wouldn't be an Ineos yes man. He's also the highest paid manager on earth. Like, at some point, that's nuts. I mean, on plenty of points, that's nuts, like, but... Ragnick did have one of his assistants sat in a hotel watching on TV. Did he? Did he really? Garda Viewer says, just because we tried a manager of a certain type from 10 years ago for a totally different team and time, it didn't work out, doesn't mean it wouldn't work now. I understand that, but like when you're looking at like what do we do next, like you almost want to be like checking off, okay, we did that. What are we going to? Jungle Red Green says De Zerbi is my choice. There's a few people, some people talking Tommy Tickles. Yeah, Enrique, yeah. I mean, that report, I thought it got rubbished, that build report, but then people keep parroting it like it's real now. So I actually don't know what's true and what's false with the whole Enrique situation. Simon says, Bruno gone, I'd be gutted if he did go. Rob says, Big Sammy's a dream move, more likely Warnock. Rich says, it's got to be Thomas after he brings the World Cup to England. De Zerbi for the lols. Ryan says, Ollie in. What do I think on Eddie Howe? I'm not impressed with Eddie Howe. I don't understand why Eddie Howe's name has even been considered for this. The guy's won a fucking League Cup. So what? James says, my choice is some guy called Steve Howson. I haven't got my pro licence. I also haven't got the 12 grand required to get on my pro licence. I need to get my A done before I can do that. Pastor says maybe stop hiring different type of managers and rebuilding from scratch. Well, the problem is like most of those appointments all came under fucking Iwa Wuwa and Matt Judge. So now you've got Ineos who, let's be honest, are trying things but making mistakes. Sorry. Just on a little dog update, I was hearing noises from behind me, and Diesel now 17 years of age, a very old staff. We are at the incontinent stage, and he is pissing over my house like a fucking toddler. So I thought I was getting a little bit of tiddling going on behind me, and I'm not. He was just yawning. Bruno will be remembered better in history, mark my words. Oh, for sure. Darren Heaney says, Eddie Howe on par with Southgate? No, not at all. He's better than Southgate. What do I think of Carrick's staff? I'm probably going to do a proper video where I look into it properly and go into in depth on them all, because I've not really done that yet, so I will do that. What's the first thing I would do as a United coach? Genuinely, I would... I said this on Rio's show yesterday. I'd get them on a night out. I think you've got to find a way to relieve the pressure. I can imagine that United is an absolute pressure cooker at the moment. The media don't help. The club aren't helping themselves. And I think a manager has to go in there and just get... There's noises behind me. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's licking his paws. What was I on about? The first thing I would do as United manager, I think there's so much pressure on the outside, and it's counterintuitive to a lot of people. Like, they just need to work harder, they just need to do this. You've got to think about the psychology of some of this, and I think what you've got to do is get in there and you've got to make people smile. And I know that's it's probably a Gareth Southgate thing to do. Just make them be friends. It's more than that. It's make them have a laugh. Make them remember what they're here to do. Maybe make them see how lucky they are. get them to smile somewhere. Maybe put them through a little bit of hardship that they come through together, so mentally they understand that they can get through things by teamwork. Something along those lines. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Mike says Roy Keane should be appointed. Honestly, if I had a quid for every time someone had said Roy Keane should be appointed, I would probably be able to buy the club my fucking self. Why can't the players pass a ball 12 feet? That's not tactics, it's just being shit. I totally agree. AJ says, even if they play FIFA, they know that a well-balanced squad gets you the most points. But even, yeah, something like that. Maybe have something like an internal FIFA tournament with like quite a bit on the line for it, and have like forfeits if you get nilled or things like that. Something that would be a fucking laugh. Do you know what I mean? That's how you get a team to connect. That and hardship. And I mean, the hardship is kind of playing for United at the moment a little bit. Kilkenny says, love Tuchel, but it'd be on the back foot majorly because the media around the World Cup, head was distracted, etc. It's possible. Also, you got to think, is he going to be fresh, depending on how it ends with England? Meat says, do I think we can get 33 points in 17 games and reach 65 points for the season? I mean, theoretically, yes, but practically, fucking hell, I've seen some utterly dog poo performances from us. Pinch says, Walter Smith used to say during Rangers' successful years, the team that drinks together wins together. I don't know if that's a modern football thing at all anymore, or even a modern generation thing, but yeah, I mean, you got so many players who just plain and simple don't drink. You got so many players who will, certainly not drink and get drunk. Someone said something without saying which club they were talking about, and they was on about players are far more asked about their physical preparation than they are about their tactical and technical preparation at the moment and fixing things out on the training ground. They're more likely to be seen cutting about and messing about with a Ferragun, making sure that they're physically prepared, because the game has probably gone a little bit too in the athletic sense and less off the cuff, understanding game IQ sort of sense, and that's sad, I think. Dobby says, need a right back, 2 young centre mids, a striker and an experienced centre half. Tiger Claus says Keane would cancel a game if kickoff was late. Darren Heaney says, if Carrick gets top 4, job should be his. These players have shat themselves all season when it comes to going to top 4. It's a good point. Big Scottish Sumner says, realistic at the end of the season, what would I be happy with? It's hard to say. It's hard to say because you don't know the circumstances of it. Like, we all probably assumed getting like top 8 or 9 this season, we'd all feel good about it. But the way it's gone down, the fact that we're not in top 4, we're all annoyed. So it's hard to say, in it this far out. Matthias says, you can coach United without a pro licence, right, but you get a fine for every game you coach. Yes. And they're not buying people fucking soup, mate. They're not going to do that, are they? Do I have a video on the parallels of Ineos taking over Nice and what happened there and what is happening in spooky similarities with United now? No, I don't, but you've got to also think, yes, Ineos are the name above the door, but the people involved are not the same. Did I get my Yakult yet? No, I didn't, but I've had firmer poos. We are flying. That's what you tune in for, I know. I hope Carrick does the player coach thing. He is the best. He's probably been on the training pitch today like this. Oh, fucking hell. Go get the coppers. We need the low out of this club, says Mr. Vio. Brumo says, great channel. Ned, the Irish Red, send them back here for a batter of Guinness and James on the training in the Atlantic and the Dunes like Fergie did in Aberdeen. I see something in it. Just came into the stream. Is he really going to leave? We're questioning the source. Remember a rumour a few months ago that Ronaldo was planning to buy United? Wibble, yeah, looks like it, doesn't it? Rich says, people will give Amorim time, but not Ineos. Who has a bigger job? That's a good point. What do I think of Onana potentially returning to the 11? I don't think that's going to happen. Does Amorim have a chance for the City spot given his former director of football is there now as well? I actually think so, yeah. Kazarov says, I remember people talking about Zola at Birmingham was better than all the players. Wouldn't surprise me if Carrick was better than some still. So many players. So many players. Amir says, please check your mail. I've sent you a mail. Where? Email? Fucking hell, mate. There's about 25,000 emails. Like, send it again, please. I might see it. I barely check my emails because it's fucking carnage. With so little prep time, maybe Carrick has just stuck on the Rocky montage. Does Rashford come back or is this chapter done and dusted? I think it's done and dusted. Have you seen Barcelona trying to lowball the price on him? Which was 30 million, which is an absolute piss take. What was I answering before that one came in? I got stopped. Does Amorim have a chance for the City spot? It wouldn't surprise me. There's something going on with Pep, isn't there? The way that City are constantly being linked to a new manager, and you're like, wait, Pep hasn't said anything. What's going on? Enrique not leaving PSG was fake news. I thought it might have been. Can we get a result against City or Arsenal? I reckon we could get something out of City but lose to Arsenal. Genuinely, no idea. Not a single iota of an idea. Hamim says, Woodgate beating up the South Asian fella in the 2000s and getting hired by United ain't a good look. It is not a good look. No, I think we'll probably be talking about that on a podcast tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Richie says, I think Carrick will surprise a few people. I mean, I hope so, but it's one of those. Where's the green jacket you wore on the You're Wrong About Ollie video? It's a green hunting style jacket. Where? Hung up probably somewhere. I don't know which one it was. I think it's a Barber. Not sure what flavour. Is it a Beedale? I got a green one. I got a brown one as well. The same. I think it's a Barber Beedale, mate. Yeah. Have I met Macaulay yet? No, it'll be tomorrow. Do I think we'll be replacing two midfielders in the summer? Again, it's very hard to do any sort of scouting stuff without knowing who the manager is, head coach is, and what sort of system they're going to be playing. Like, it's a fucking nightmare to try and make those sorts of things. Where do I get my hats? This is a GBRS one. I've just turfed a load on the floor, actually. I have. Oh, you just pulled one off. Forget about it. I have absolutely shitloads of them on these little hanger things. Another one here. Just hats for days, mate. They were hung up over there, and I've turfed them on the floor behind us. Probably need 4 midfielders now. We have no framework yet. Any advice for a 36-year-old starting out on YouTube to show my kids anything is possible? Just start, mate. Why would any manager or player want to join this club, such a toxic fan-based media? Because it's Manchester United still. It still is, right? You'd have said, why would anyone want to join Liverpool when they won the league for 30 fucking years? They still sign people, didn't they? Like, people will always want to move because they do. What's the Paddock script for next season? It's not been voted on yet. Hopefully by the end of the month, it'll be getting voted on. Is it true me and Macaulay nearly had a scrap? No. You'd get folded in half if we did. Chelsea versus Arsenal, hoping for an all-out brawl with 22 red cards and police intervention. You don't bet on it. Mount might be the worst signing ever. I don't know about that. Why are people hating on Carrick's appointment before the first training day? Can we not have some back in the manager? Yeah, I mean, that's all I was talking about the other day when they titled the video, I'm optimistic. It's because I want to be optimistic. I don't want to be sitting here going, this will never work. I mean, I absolutely guarantee would have done that if Gareth Southgate had been appointed. I'd have been absolutely gutted. But Michael Carrick, I want to be optimistic. Can you imagine Ollie didn't get the interim job because he's in the shortlist for the permanent head coach in the summer? I can't imagine that's the case. I'm surprised they didn't argue after they called him Sergeant Slaughter. What's the story about the games in Saudi? Don't know. I saw someone tweet, you get 2.1 million for winning the FA Cup, but you get 10 million on this Saudi trip. But you're like, yeah, but also United get drawn at home in every FA Cup tie, and we make more than 2 million on the gate. Like, it's a weird way to frame it. Like, you only get 2 million for the FA Cup. Like, there's so many games, and there's so much else going on with that. Like, that's a little bit iffy. I literally wear a lot of hats. I literally do wear a lot of hats. I like hats. What do I think with all the shit going on in the US with ice, with Greenland? I was hoping to do a short one tonight, lads. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot going on I really don't agree with. And I'm happy that the UK government, for now, I don't trust them. I won't trust them as far as I could throw them. Seems to have gone back on the digital ID thing, which I'm pretty pleased about, to be honest with you, because that was in my napper a little bit. But there's like 30-something countries around the world that have decided that they're going to do digital ID. It's going to be everywhere, and we're not really going to have a lot of choice about it, I think. There's all sorts of funky stuff going on across the world, and if you've got a brain, you can't be happy about any of it. Like, it seems to me like the British government, and it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on with this, because it's all of them. It seems like they get in and they go, how can we fuck people about the most today? I don't think it doesn't feel like, at least anyway, that there's a single government, and actually, I don't know if there's a single government in a single country that has actually sat down and gone, do you know what? How can we make life better for our citizens? It seems like no one's thought of that, but that's the job of a government. It's protect and serve, right? Protect them and try and make life better and more prosperous for the people that live in your country. That should be the job of every single government, but it's not. Every single government just seems to be like, how do we bend over our citizens the most? What's all that about? Like, when you think about all the stuff that's coming in, tax people more and this, that and the other people more, and then some of the policies that they're enacting, you're like, you allow us to get bent over by the energy companies and this, that and the other, and you're doing fuck all to help us. Stop mandating fucking nonsense into the food and start encouraging people to do some shit for themselves. Dabby Piso says, if you speak to people in Scandinavia where they have digital ID, they think it's great and really convenient. I have ID. I have a fucking passport. Guess what? You see the little thing on the bottom? Oh, it's pretty worn out, like, but they see the thing on the bottom? That's digital. They can already fucking do it. And do you know what? If I went to get digital ID, do you know what it asked me for? Fucking that. That works. That does everything I need it to do. There's no point at any area in my life that I need anything else extra to be digital that I don't want it to be. MNK says, if United win convincingly against City and Arsenal, can I see the planned protest going ahead? I think it'll be less supported. Uptown Rocker says it's convenient until they shut off your bank account. Exactly. And they're all going to them central bank digital currency things as well. And your digital ID is going to be linked to your social media account for your safety. Fuck off. Right? And then your digital ID is going to be linked to your car for safety. Right? And for insurance purposes, we've got to make sure you're you, haven't we? Right? We just want to make sure you're you. And then the day that you tweet something they don't like, your bank account don't work, your fucking car doesn't start, and you get fucking police rocking up on your doorstep. You can't tell me that. This is why I have a 30-year-old Defender, lads. Right? Don't have a fucking radio in it. Ain't no one turning that off. And not only that, look at how you've seen everyone's preparing for what might end up being some World War III sort of scenario. Let's hope it doesn't get to that, because I don't think any of us are surviving it. But all of the countries of Europe over the last 6 months have released publications telling people to prepare for 72 hours. Berlin just had 5 days because of a cyber attack where they had no power in Berlin for 5 fucking days. They had, was it Madrid or was it the whole of Spain about 6 months ago? Like, good luck doing anything in your fucking electric car when that happens. Guess what? What's the defender run on? Diesel. Dinosaur jizz. Let's go, baby. Cash is king. I'm a hypocrite in that sense. I don't really have cash. The only time I use cash is, I was going to joke then and say buying drugs. Get me car washed. It's the same, right? Get me car washed, and that's about the only time I use cash. Do you know what I mean? I don't really use cash for much else. I am Apple paid up to death, but it's one of them, innit? How's the defender holding up? Well, currently, my actual 32-year-old defender is without MOT since the 27th of December, so I'm currently driving Janine's car, which is annoying me. But if the world ends and everyone's electric car dies, I'll be fucking driving it, legal or not, because the ANPR won't work. So shut up. Stephen Harris says, 30-year-old defender but chatting to ChatGPT all day, you contrary truff. Yeah, exactly. That's the game, man. My new defender, which is not new, but it's newer, has been in the garage since October. I bought it. I haven't drove it. And it's been just chilling and waiting. Someone said, Miss Super Chat, FSG took years to succeed at LFC. Ineos need time. Yep, I agree with that, mate. Is your barber not cash only? No, do a bank transfer with him. Dabby says, so they could just turn off access to your money if you wanted. Yeah. I mean, technically they can do that anyway, but it's a bit harder for them, I think. Ryan says, good man for the training session link earlier. More of that, please, if possible. What did you think? Let's go, Jay says, I'll get you a guaranteed pass on your MOT. That is absolutely disgusting. Do not DM me on Instagram right now and tell me how that can happen, because that is absolutely disgusting. Afi says, can I do a video giving us the ins and outs for a 2-year plan to win the league? 2 to 3 year plan, assuming we play 4-2-3-1. We've got, when we've got that 3 games in 41 days, I will probably need to do something along those lines anyway. So let me save it until then. Have I not got any lawsuits lately? Need a Wibble watch on Howson versus content soon. No one's trying to sue me for a minute. Not me thinking football defender in my team. No, not this time, mate. Sam says, a lot of people want a manager with Premier League experience, but how many managers that have won the Premier League had Premier League experience beforehand? That's the thing, innit? Notch says, already happens in China. Yeah, in China, the digital ID thing has gone beyond that into the social credit score thing, and it's fucking terrifying. It really is. Great pod with Danny today, says Mike. Thank you, mate. RH is the next one. What's my plan for being in the US during the World Cup? So, I believe we are basing ourselves in LA. We should have match tickets, but that's not confirmed yet. I've just been trying to scout out gyms. We are in Hollywood Hills. So any decent gyms around there, either High Rocks gyms or hybrid gyms, or anyone know any gyms around there, I'm up for coming and doing some stuff like that. When I get the call to be the United permanent head coach job this summer, what's the plan and first thing I do? Oh yeah, we forgot about that. Oh yeah, get the lads on the piss. we're going on the smash. More transparency from the board would be great. Yeah, I think so. Would I ever do Misfits boxing? Yes. Any advice for lower back pain? Go to a physio. Don't fuck about. Stephen Harris says, talking of the past best defenders, we are playing Winsford on Saturday. We are. Let's see how that goes. Notch says, remember when fans moaned about cup draws always at Old Trafford? Now there's one home game out of those 3 in 41 days. Jesus Christ. HX Mad says, what's up with Stretford Paddock FC? In what sense? Do Americans always point out your accent there? No. Not really. Phobo says, Gold's Gym, Malibu Beach. I had a look at that. It's 11 miles away, right? And that, in LA traffic, probably take me longer to fly home and go to my local gym. So, no. should go to a game at Arrowhead, world's loudest stadium in Kansas City. Is it, though? Or do they only measure shit like that in America and not like at the Bombonera? Are we playing Winsford away? No, we're playing Winsford at Hyde, 3 o'clock. So if you've not got a ticket for the derby will be on in the bar beforehand, so you can watch. You can almost real life dual screen. Come and watch the derby at 12:30, and then we kick off at 3 right after it. Favourite food I had in the US? I do like In-N-Out Burger, you know, if we're talking takeaway type stuff. We had some pretty mean tacos in San Diego as well. Don't know the name of the gaff, but it was like a really highly recommended gaff. What's this jacket? This jacket is Barber. Am I a member at FC United too? Not a current member, no. I was a founder member back in 2005. Rune says, in other news, wanted to thank you just for being me. Oh, thank you. Having my worst day for years. ADHD paralysis, just going crazy, just trying to cope. One day at a time, mate. One day at a time. That's all you can do. Make a plan. Try and stick to it. MN2 says, Danny Simpson's had a call to fight Paddy Evra. If that was me, would I accept the challenge? My response would have been Danny's response. I'm not fighting Uncle Pat. No. Kazarov says, my comms versus Winsford will be salty if United get battered by City. It's salty anyway. What are you on about? The players want a word with you, by the way. Must say. Sarah says, no matter which manager is at United, as long as they play Delon, nothing's going to change. Michael with a super chat says, great content as always. Seems like everyone's forgotten about the City charges. I thought City would get away with it. If you can guarantee if it was United, it'd been dealt with ASAP. If it was United, they would have like an hour-long segment on it every single day for the last 4 years on Sky Sports, and I'm genuinely not even kidding. Does Carrick's temperament and young coaching age not suit longer term, not interim? If he does well, he gets a Premier League job and potentially end back up. I don't know, man. I'm Welsington says, Steve, every team you follow seems to be bad. I follow one team. All right, technically I'm an Auburn dude, I guess. Aren't Auburn pretty bad anyway, though? Phobo says, if you go San Diego next time, visit a place called Ocean Beach. Oh, I went to Ocean Beach, my friend. Beautiful little surfer beachside, little town. Check out Hodad's if he was there. Was it Ocean Beach or was it Pacific Beach? Actually, I think I might be wrong there. Went to Pacific Beach. My mate Jay did some training with the Navy SEALs, and he said basically all the regiment lads, whenever they went over to San Diego, they ended up in this bar. Told me the name of a bar. I went in, I felt like I was walking into just like a UK British Army squadron bar. I was like, holy shit, this is nuts. ECP says, is the field manual series in the bin? Absolutely not, no. It's just like, it's been Christmas and it's been hard to film them. I haven't had a full squad in. Amy's been, travelling and stuff, so over Christmas. She went back to Ireland for a bit. So we are probably back in the mix in a minute. Do I see Ibrahimov chilling with Khabib over the winter? Kid's mentality will be likely top tier. I mean, he already was anyway, I think. Moran says, Seals are lucky either Virginia Beach or San Diego. I was hoping that we might be able to get over to Virginia Beach. DJ asked me to come and hang out and do some shooting with them over in Virginia Beach. So if I get the opportunity while we're in America in the summer, I'll absolutely do that. Just a quick shout, though. Is anyone interested, talking to Californians at the moment, would there be any interest in us doing a live podcast with me and, let's say, a Tier 1 Manchester United journalist, or if it was myself and Rio, or something along those lines? Would be any interest in us doing live shows, ticketed live shows in America? Probably LA for sure, and I'll probably get in touch with the supporters clubs anyway before we finalise this, but I'm thinking LA, San Diego, maybe San Francisco because it's close enough. Probably not Vegas because I fucking hate it. If I do it, the tickets in Vegas will be $1,000 each just to fucking justify me going and actually turn up and be happy. There'll be, whatever, cover the costs at the other places, but Vegas can fuck off. I possibly could do one in New York. If there's any interest, I mean, what do you guys think? Where would we do one? Would it be live streamed as well? Probably not, to be honest. As it stands, I'm not taking a camera operator with me, but I am interested if there's any camera operators that are out in California that wouldn't mind doing a little bit with us, then get in touch, because, well, it saved me half the price of having to bring someone from over here for starters, but I wouldn't mind doing that. Are both my 4x4s long wheelbase? Yes, I've got two 110 Defenders. One's a 93 and one 93 200 TDI and a 2011 2.4 TDCI. Smithfield Hall or bigger? I don't know. What do you reckon the demand would be? We've never done this when we've gone this far away, so it's one of those. Uptown Rocker says, I can take you to a private range in Southern California. Oh, wouldn't mind that. Wellington says, I haven't been to Vegas as an American, never interested, always looks miserable for someone like me. Mate, I value authenticity, and I love real culture, real shit. Like San Diego, I love the energy of San Diego. There's parts of New York I absolutely adored. There was bits in Chicago that I thought was sensational. Even like Venice Beach and that in LA. LA obviously is quite superficial, but places like the Comedy Store, like, they've got a vibe and an energy to them. Hollywood Hills was nice, but Las Vegas, it's the fucking devil's arsehole, mate. Just the energy just feels off. And do you know what feels the same? Dubai. Everyone's a fucking hooker out to scam you. Like, that's exactly what Las Vegas is. And it's not a nice energy in the slightest. Smithfield Hall is packed to begin with. I mean, I think we went to Smithfield Hall a couple of years ago when we was in New York. There was an event on already there. It wasn't our event. We just shown up at one. Should do it in Greenland before they become the US 51st state. 52nd. Vegas is like going on a cruise ship that don't move. It's fucking horrible, innit? If anyone's got any contact at any of those places, hit me up on Instagram. It's the best way to get in touch. It's like Blackpool, but hot. Oh, it's worse than that, Wells, what's a cultural norm in the US that they wish that the UK would adopt, and vice versa? I wish the US would adopt Britain's tipping culture, where if it's exceptional, you get sorted out. Not, oh, fucking hell, supermarkets, and it's insane. It's genuinely fell off. It's insane. And I wish the junior sport, college sports vibe, I stayed with a guy called Cody in Alabama, and went to visit the high school, Springville High School in Alabama, and he showed me pictures of what a Friday night football game looks like. There's 3,000-4,000 people watching a high school football game. I love that. That I wish would be bigger in the UK. Vegas used to be cool, but it lost all chance. When Frank Sinatra was kicking about, maybe. In the words of Roy Keane, if you want loyalty, get a dog. I tell you what, I am genuinely looking forward to going watching Saipan. I think me and Jay Motti might go and do a little day trip out there next Friday to go and watch it, because it's at one of the cinemas on Deansgate. Notch says tailgates. Yeah, tailgates. Staley Bridge or Las Vegas? Fucking Staley Vegas, yeah. Toby says, I'll be down for San Francisco. Check out high school basketball arenas in Indiana. Do I think we'd be stuck with VAR forever? FA Cup was so much better without it. Yes, I do think we're stuck with it forever, to be honest. I absolutely do. Vegas is shit. Fuck all there unless you're into gambling. I mean, even if you are. Like, Aaron's Wells says, I love college football. Would recommend any Brit can make themselves to a proper game in the Southeast. I've been looking. College football doesn't start till September, does it? Is there any like pre-season games I could go and watch at Auburn? Because I'm thinking, I'm trying to tie a trip over. I'm going to bring my son and my daughter and my wife, hopefully. If I could bring them to... I want to go and visit Auburn and watch an actual game there rather than just fucking visit the stadium and stuff. But is there any like pre-season games I can go to in August? Because obviously my daughter's in school. She's going to have to get back for school. But I'd still like to come. I want to take the missus to Nashville, do a bit of Auburn, and then get over to the West Coast, and then maybe have a mosey on up, maybe through Yosemite and then into Montana, potentially. Zach says, I'm in Texas high school. Football stadiums can hold up to 15,000, 20,000 people and they sell out weekly. So, I mean, I love that shit. Will we get commercials during VAR check soon? Oh, yeah, I'm thinking it might be even like, VAR check sponsored by Geico. What's my genuine thoughts on American United supporters? I feel like we get a bad rap. I've met loads visiting the States, and I don't know. I don't have any negative opinions over them. Maybe because you guys are the ones that are heading out and watch the matches. I don't know. I think anyone, look, if you only make one trip to a game a year, I don't get people who live like quite close to matches or where a match is going on and just don't go. Whether that's in the UK, whether that's abroad, wherever. Like, I understand it if you go, mate, I live in fucking Alaska. They're never coming here, right? I get that. But I think there's people like, there's fucking mates of mine that never go. And I can offer them a ticket and they'll be like, no, I want you on the telly. I don't get that. I don't know. Welsington says, unfortunately, there isn't pre-season in college ball. You would have to come in September, but I'll warn you, it's hotter than Satan's gooch, unless it's a night game. That's a nightmare. Can I see any reason why there hasn't been a Fergie biography movie yet? And who do I think would play the gaffer? What a fucking question. Oh, who do you lot think? I honestly don't fucking know who'd play the gaffer. That's a really, really good question. Philip says you have to provide all your social media history when entering the US. You won't be allowed to enter the country. Do you not think I've thunk about that? No preseason college football. Likely be a scrimmage against another school or 7v7s, but it won't be the same atmosphere, unfortunately. Yeah, that's what I was after going for. I live in Florida, go twice a year. I mean, like, I got so much respect for people that make the pilgrimage from a fucking long old way. Russell Crowe. Maybe a young Russell Crowe, but not now. Probably Stephen Graham. Stephen Graham's not a bad shout, you know. What's Stephen Graham's Scottish accent like? Has he ever had to do one? Am I going to any World Cup games? Ticket prices through the roof. Yeah, luckily, I think if we get any, it'll be with sponsors. But I don't anticipate me being able to buy any. Tom Hardy as Fergie. Yes. Liam Neeson as the gaffer, yes. Daniel Day-Lewis for Fergie, yes. Because he would go and fucking coach a Sunday League team for 2 years before he went and fucking coached, wouldn't he? Yes. Oh, I'm feeling all of those names. Maybe there's a few. Because obviously you've got Fergie the player, Fergie the young manager, Fergie the old manager. Mind you, with AI now, they just fucking artificially age him, wouldn't it? That's a fucking reach out. Who could we sign that would be a good Bruno replacement? How's my training going? Not good. I was hoping to do a 10K today, but I haven't done it. So, maybe tomorrow. I'm in the gym at 5, so we'll see. Tom Hardy wins it. Righty, I'm going to call it a day. The Nigeria-Morocco game is about to start, so I'm going to head off and go and watch that. You lot have a good night. Take it easy. And I will see you all at 5 a.m. in the morning for the morning walk when we can get stuck into whatever it is that didn't get answered tonight. So if you've got some questions, Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the